Scott, you've got questions to ask, Mickey, and I want answers.
Oh, we got it.
I want answers. We'll
get
so
them.
is it time?
It's
is it
time.
time?
It's
Am I going to throw it over?
You're throwing it.
Throw it over
You're
to DJ Mickey D, everybody. Yes. Yes. Oh, my God. I can't wait for this today.
Thank you so much,
You're
Regina.
welcome.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to The Spice. My name is DJ Mickey D, and it is so great to be back with everyone tonight at Club Curious in Brooklyn, New York. We've gathered the Good Vibes machine, and we're going to tell stories and share memories that remind us all of how essential music is to our lives. Our guest tonight truly followed her bliss. She moved all the way from wine country to New York City, where she works and lives as a comedian, a filmmaker, an author, a cartoonist. We found out she's had a dog for a year. Her debut graphic memoir, Murder Book, a memoir of a true crime obsession, came out last week and it's making waves. You should check it out. Her cartoons and illustrations have appeared in The New Yorker, The New York Times, Cosmopolitan Magazine, and more. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the one and only Hilary Campbell.
I feel like I'm about to start a therapy session. Okay.
Yeah, some people have compared this to that, so. But it's all good. We won't cry. I'm done crying. All right, Hilary. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm happy I'm here. Dakota, you do look beautiful.
Okay, so people pay attention tonight throughout the show. If you would like to ask Hilary a question, you can send a message to Mrs. Spice. And if you have a good question, she'll pass you along and you'll get a chance to talk to Hilary.
It has to be good, though.
It has to be good. No whack questions. Because we'll cut you off real quick. Hilary doesn't play. All right.
They say there's no bad questions, and that is not true.
That is not true at all. All right, Hilary. So the first song that we have that we're going to play is Red Right Hand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
By Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. This song reminds you of your healthy obsession with murder.
Sure.
Tell us about Murder Book and tell us about your obsession with murder.
My obsession. Yeah. Okay. The Murder Book, it just came out. It's so wild to me. The book I've been working on it for about 3 years now, and it really was years ago when my agent were trying to toss around ideas of I want to make a book. What do I want to do? Really to have a party at the end of it. I go, why do I want to make a book? So people like me. But I knew I wanted to write something about the different ideas I was having were all just sort of surrounding the relationship with my mother. And I wanted the people to know how funny my mom was, really. And so I had several different ideas, sort of, about my mom. And then when I was talking about this with my agent, and I was like, well, these other ideas, or my mom and I are always talking about murder, so that could be a book. And she was like, follow that, follow that idea. That's the big ticket to take. And so, because that's what we're all doing, right? At home, is we're talking about at least in my family. That's most of the dinner table conversation is like who got murdered, who's in jail now.
My wife stopped me from falling asleep to First 48. I just like to have it on and just
well, that's how I fall. I think that's healthy, but. So the book, it started out as that, and it's sort of trying to answer that age-old question, why am I so obsessed with this shit, right? And so I kind of ponder through different ideas throughout the book, blame my mother, and then, blame the movies, blame anxiety. But it's also a history of true crime kind of as a genre. And I also, in other chapters, I also delve into specific true crime, not true crime cases like the Zodiac. So it's a real hodgepodge of a book. And someone did recently describe it as nothing but a tangent, which is how I talk. So I said that's correct.
Perfect. You nailed it.
That's how I tell a story, That's how you get comedy in too, right? You're like, I'm gonna tell you something, but I can tell you a lot of jokes in between, so the story's gonna be really long. So that's Murder Book, and I have a lot of theories as to why. I think I asked my mom, I go, why do you think it? Because I think I'm obsessed with it because of you.
All right, so why does your mom think it, and why do you think it?
I think it because of her. I'm like, well, it's all
there
you
you go.
talked about, and then that's how I was raised. But then, I ask her and she goes, yeah, well, because of my mom, So then I kind of track like a genealogy in the book of just women in our family having the same obsession and sort of like handing it down to the next generation. Like,
That's very
you too
cool.
will have nightmares about this. And that was fun to track. And, it is, when you look at the statistics, right, it is mostly female, the audience. Not to say that, you're falling asleep to 48 hours. So
I love it.
You love it. You love it. You're there. But, yeah, statistically not as many men are consuming the podcasts, the books, the TV shows. I feel like an example of like my dad walked in and my mom and I have been sitting there for hours watching something on the Green River Killer. And then he sits for 5 minutes and he's like, "What? Why are you doing this? Like, this is horrible. What are we watching? This is really horrifying and very gruesome." And we go, "Yeah, I know." You're like, I'm not gonna turn it off. But then Conan O'Brien, of course, is famously also a total murderino.
Murderino. So you're
That's the word from My Favorite Murder.
Yes, I love that podcast.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah, they are. They're great.
I sent them a copy of the book, and I'm just sitting and hoping and praying that they like it.
I heard that they're fans of the Spice, so you should get on top of that. That's right.
Anyways, and then the reason I picked this song is because it just makes me think of Scream.
Yeah.
World's greatest movie, and this is this is like after the first kill, this song comes on, and all the kids are walking downtown, and they're all spooked. And I love Scream, and it's obviously a lot of murder in that movie. But I also love horror films too.
I love horror as well. This is a great song.